December 7, 1941, the day America was dragged into the abyss of global conflict. It was a failure of intelligence, a catastrophic moment when we were completely in the dark. But for America to survive, to win, we needed to flip the script. We had to put the enemy in the dark. This is the story of the Silent War, the secret operation that shaped victory on two fronts, the Pacific and Europe. Our weapon was a new agency born in secrecy, the Office of Strategic Services, the OSS. Led by William Wild Bill Donovan, its mission was simple: gather information, execute secret missions, and to raise hell. While millions of Americans were training to fight on the beaches, the OSS was training to fight in the shadows. They were America's first modern spies. The first piece of the puzzle lay across the Atlantic in the muddy fields of England. The British had cracked Germany's Enigma code, a secret source called Ultra, but the U.S. Army and Navy had to join the effort. They weren't just reading Hitler's mail. They were changing the war's fundamental rules. Every move Hitler planned, from his U-boat routes in the Atlantic to troop placements, was known to the Allies. Ultra saved countless American lives. But the real immediate life-or-death scenario for America was in the Pacific. We had to break the Japanese code JN-25, which the Americans nicknamed Magic. This was the moment where American ingenuity had to be faster than Japanese planning. At Station Hypo in Hawaii, a small, tireless team of linguists and analysts fought their own desperate battle. They were the men who would save the U.S. fleet. In May 1942, Magic intercepted a plan. The Japanese were preparing a massive knockout blow against a target coded AF. The U.S. Navy Command believed AF was Midway Atoll, a small rock crucial for holding the Central Pacific. But how could they be sure? To confirm the intelligence, one officer sent a deceptive, unencrypted message. Midway's water distillation plant had broken down. A few hours later, Magic intercepted a Japanese reply. AF is short of water. That single, brilliant trick confirmed the target. It gave Admiral Nimitz the ultimate military advantage, the knowledge of when and where the enemy would attack. The Battle of Midway was fought on courage, but it was won on intelligence. The Japanese fleet sailed into a devastating ambush. The loss of 4 Japanese carriers crippled their naval air power, ending their expansion and turning the tide of the Pacific War. This moment, perhaps more than any other, was paid for by the tireless work of American codebreakers. The power of Magic reached its peak in April 1943. American intelligence intercepted the exact flight schedule for Admiral Yamamoto, the man who planned Pearl Harbor. It was a difficult, controversial decision, but the U.S. authorized the ambush. P-38 Lightning fighters shot down his plane. Yamamoto's death devastated Japanese morale. The Silent War had claimed its biggest prize. If breaking codes was the truth, then our next weapon was the lie. In Europe, as the D-Day invasion approached, General Eisenhower faced a deadly challenge. The Germans knew an invasion was coming. But where? The answer was deception. The greatest trick in military history, Operation Fortitude. We created a phantom army in southeast England, the first United States Army Group, or FUSAG. This was a ghost army of over 150,000 men. It included inflatable rubber tanks, fake supply depots, and even canvas and wood landing craft. The 23rd Headquarters Special Troops, nicknamed the Ghost Army, used massive speakers to play pre-recorded sounds of tanks rolling and men marching. They made the enemy believe an entire U.S. Army was preparing to invade at Pas de Calais, the narrowest point across the English Channel. The Germans were easily fooled. Why? Because the Allies had Patton. General George S. Patton Jr., the most feared American general, was put in command of this fake army. His well-publicized tours and speeches in the region were all part of the act. The trick was so good, Hitler kept 2 full panzer divisions and 19 infantry divisions waiting at Calais, for weeks after the real invasion at Normandy had begun. The Ghost Army saved countless American lives on D-Day. While the Ghost Army fooled the enemy's eyes, the OSS and its British counterparts armed the enemy's neighbors. American OSS operatives parachuted behind enemy lines across Europe, linking up with the French resistance, known as the Maquis. They supplied weapons, trained saboteurs, and created the chaos needed to weaken the German army before the invasion even hit the beaches. The lessons of intelligence were applied everywhere. In the Pacific, the American effort had another secret weapon, the Nisei linguists, Japanese Americans who served in the Military Intelligence Service, MIS. Despite facing prejudice at home, these 6,000 heroes translated Japanese documents, interrogated prisoners, and deciphered maps. The MIS shortened the war in the Pacific by an estimated 2 years, saving hundreds of thousands of lives. They were the ultimate proof that loyalty knows no race. Consider the true scale of the victory. In Europe, deception kept the German army fragmented. In the Pacific, codebreaking allowed us to preempt major naval strikes. The ability to know what the enemy was thinking, and to make them think what we wanted, was the single greatest American strategic advantage. It was the power of the mind, saving the body. For decades, the stories of Ultra, Magic, the Ghost Army, and the Nisei linguists remained classified. These men and women, the silent heroes, returned home with medals they couldn't wear and victories they couldn't celebrate. Their success allowed the American GI to fight a war where the odds for once were slightly in his favor. They operated in the darkness so the entire world, from the Pacific Islands to the nations of Europe, could return to the light. The cost of World War II was staggering, but it would have been far worse without the invisible army that worked behind the scenes. They were the architects of victory, the true silent warriors. Their legacy is the intelligence community America relies on today. Energetic, friendly tone. If you were gripped by the secrets of the silent war, you are in the right place. Every week, the Pacific and Europe uncovers the untold stories that shaped the greatest generation. Hit the subscribe button now and join us as we explore every battle, every strategy, and every secret from both fronts of World War II. And let us know in the comments. Which WW2 intelligence operation do you believe was the most important to America's victory?